الحمد لله الذي خلق الإنسان في أحسن صورة. أما بعد.
This story here is out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Unfortunately, it happens on June 10th, my birthday, 2024. So, his name is Qalinle Ibrahim Dirie. I believe I may have mispronounced his name, but it doesn't matter because he will be an inmate with an inmate number for the next several years. And in my opinion, it really isn't long enough. But you let me know if you believe that it is or it isn't. So officers would respond to Hennepin County Medical regarding a criminal sexual conduct report when a student had told a counselor that she was sexually assaulted. Now, she said that she was in her backyard playing when a man that she sees often, he would ride up and down her street. And this time he decides to stop the vehicle in an alleyway close to her backyard, and he walks up towards her and he asks her, "Is your mother home?" And she says no. As soon as she says no, he proceeds to then put one of his hands around her mouth. Then he lifts her up off the ground with the other hand. While picking her up, he is carrying her back to his vehicle that's parked in the alleyway. He began to strike her on the back of her head. She said she felt dizzy while he was doing this. He threw her in the car and then he drove away with her. They went several blocks away from her home, the area that she lived in. He stopped the car, placed her in the back seat, and he proceeded to R-word her. He ejaculated on her chest. She used her shirt to wipe it off, which she still had that shirt in her possession. She was able to get away from this man and out of his car and able to run home. Now, she didn't tell anybody. She did not tell her mother. She did not tell her mother's husband, which is her stepfather, or her brother. Now, it was the victim's older brother on July 29th. So this was literally 1 month after this incident when he had his little sister's phone in his hand, and there were multiple calls from someone by the name of Mohammed Muse. She was ignoring these calls. That's when she would tell her brother that what this man did to her, that he had sexually assaulted her the day that she was outside playing in the backyard. Now, the brother picked up the phone during one of these calls, didn't say a word, he just listened. And he heard the caller say, quote, "Hey, beautiful, I miss you. When can I see you again?" End quote. The brother then started to Snapchat the man using the last name Muse, pretending to be his little sister, which is the victim. Now, Muse actually texted back. He was texting, believing that this was the 12-year-old little girl. He said this time he would bring condoms. So he's on his way, okay? This man is on his way to sexually assault this 12-year-old little girl once again. When he arrived, he tried to flee when he saw not only the victim's older brother, but the stepfather waiting for him. They was able to block the door and call the police. Now, when the police gets there, Dirie, whatever the hell his last name is, he told the police that he didn't know her. Then he changed his story and said, oh, but he thought that she was 19 years old. Now, Dirie is 42 years old. So now he's in the process of being sentenced. Now, before I continue with all that, I do not know how he got a hold of this little girl's number. Not at all. I have no idea. They didn't really go into the depths of how he got, her telephone number. Nothing at all. So, or at least the articles I read, it may be out there, but I just didn't find it. Okay. So now why Dirie is being processed and he's on his way of getting sentenced. They have people come up and try to speak for the convicted person because at this point he's convicted. And I guess they even use that T-shirt with his semen on it, which is his DNA. And I guess he knew he was over his head with it. That's why he just hurried up and changed his story by saying, oh, she said she was 19. So he's being called a devoted father of 4 sons and a pillar in their family. I mean, it still doesn't mean he's not a R-wordist and a pedo. It still doesn't mean that. They said since his arrest, the family had been in deep distress. His brother said, quote, "It's deeply difficult to reconcile the current circumstances with the person I've known all my life. Although he made a profound and incomprehensible mistake, Qalinle has consistently shown integrity and compassion and thoughtfulness in his interactions," end quote. I want to say the brother tried to use a whole lot of big words there, but yeah, your older brother or whatever Qalinle fits at in the age department, he's disgusting. He stalked a 12-year-old child, grabbed her, threw her in the back seat, blocks away from her home, probably his home as well, assaulted her, and then continuously kept trying to call her, and then was bringing condoms to do it again. So yeah. So the mother of 3 sons, okay, so this is just the mother of 3 of them. Remember, he has 4 sons. Their ages 11, 9, and 7. At the time, she stated, quote, "have never known a time without their father, and his absence has been deeply felt," end quote. Well, hopefully these young boys will turn into young men and will not take a child from her backyard and assault her. Hopefully they won't assault anyone at all, like their dad. Dirie still says that he did not commit this crime. He's still saying this, and that he didn't do anything. The father of 4 is really standing behind this story, and he says it's the 12-year-old's mother who is behind this. I don't know why. I have no idea why the mother would say something like this. What is she gaining by putting this man in jail by saying that he assaulted her daughter? That doesn't make any sense. They have the DNA, so, but sometimes people just have to stand on anything, even if it is nonsense. And I couldn't find how even he had access to this little girl's cell phone number, not at all. But I'm glad that the brother was smart enough to bait him, and Dirie was dumb enough to fall for it. Now, Dirie's family, they only spoke about the impact of the loss of their father not being there. Not one mention of this child that he assaulted, that again, for some reason, he blames her mother. Now, he was only sentenced to 12 years. I guess it's 1 year per her age? I mean, awful. 12 years. That's it. And hopefully he'll do every minute of it and not be released, for good behavior, or it's not enough beds, whatever bullshit reasons that they use to release people. Hopefully not. Now, I don't think it's good enough, 12 years. I don't know. I mean, for you to stalk, because he was stalking this little girl. He was. I don't know how close he was with his family because the articles are very limited, but he preyed on her, parked behind the house closer to her, grabbed her and did this. He wanted to continue doing this. But this time he was going to bring condoms to make sure he left no DNA behind, or maybe that she wouldn't even get pregnant. So terrible. So I just went to look on comments just to see, what people were saying, because sometimes people that know these people will speak. And there is a profile with a man by the name of Craigslist. I usually would black out the person's name, but this time I decided not to, because obviously this is a fake name, Craigslist. And this person said, quote, "I don't think y'all understand how long 12 years is. Forced sex between adults is wrong, but not as crazy as y'all make it out to be." So I responded, and I normally don't respond to anybody that says stuff in comments too much. So I responded to that. She was 12 years old, playing in her backyard, not an adult. So Craigslist, this dude is wrong. He was so quick to defend a man who's being sexually abusive to a woman that he hasn't even fully read the story to know that she was a 12-year-old child. She wasn't even considered a woman yet. She's a child. So Craigslist, if you are watching this video, if you ever, and I'm going to use your words, have forced sex by a man who is force sexing you, I hope he just gets 30 to 60 days, because it's not as crazy as y'all make it out to be.